Hi, welcome to Chad's Silversmithing. First, thanks for coming to my channel. I really appreciate you visiting. If you wouldn't mind, would you hit the like button before you leave? That helps getting my channel promoted a great deal. I also love it when you leave comments, so leave a comment if you have some suggestions or questions or any kind of commentary on the video. Today I think I'm going to do a multiple project video, and I think I'm going to do three different simple wire flower earrings, one of which will be a behind the lobe kind of earring. So I thought that'd be kind of fun to try. I've never made one of those, and I thought I'd give it a shot. So we'll be making those today. I picked out a couple of little round carnelians for one of the designs. Before we get started, though, I need to thank some people. I wanted to thank my YouTube audience. We're approaching 5,000 members. Thank you so much for that. That's amazing and wonderful, and I appreciate all the nice things that you guys say, as well as the financial support that I've gotten from a lot of you. So thank you for that. I wanted to thank my patrons over on Patron. That's the place where people are paying for my premium content. They're a really great group over there. I appreciate the ideas that we're all sharing with each other, and it's fun making specific exclusive tutorials for them sometimes. So I really appreciate their support over there. Thank you guys so much. So if you're interested in Patreon or wanted to support the channel in any other way, you should check the video description down below. There's information about that. There's also information about how to get to my website where I post my jewelry, my merch store where you can get cool things like my design idea books and coffee mugs and stuff like that. There's also a link for Buy Me a Coffee if you just want to, support the channel by giving me a tip. So I appreciate those things, but let's get started on this video. Here's those little carnelians I'm going to use for one of the pairs, and it looks like they're about 6 millimeters, I think. Set those to the side for now. I pre-made some bezels for them because we're doing 3 projects, so that'll just be the central part of one of the styles. This is my design idea book. There's actually 3 different covers you can get on the merch store, but I find that the graph paper that it has without lines, but just the dots on the corners, is super handy for helping me to draw up my ideas. So helps me to keep things kind of proportional because I'm not very good at that. So here's what I was thinking. I've seen a lot of various similar designs, but this one's going to be kind of a blossom that is just basically teardrop shapes, kind of, mostly, that are bent in different ways, with a little tail off of one of them. And I'll do 2 of those in opposite directions. I might flatten those out a little bit by tapping them with a chasing hammer. These ones I'm going to make a ball, or I'm not sure, maybe either a ball or a flattened ball, maybe, with a post on it going to the back. And then I'm going to make these little wire frames that kind of, with a little tiny hole in the center there. And they'll kind of ride behind the ear. I guess you could wear them in front of the ear too, it wouldn't really matter. But you put this on, then you put it through your ear, stick this on the back, and then put a little rubber stopper behind it to keep it on. And then I'm going to do some traditional dangles with just kind of a cool little flower pattern with some little, I don't know, stamens or pistils or whatever those are called. So, and I pre-made some of those since I have to make like 20 of them. So, but I'll show you how I did it. So let's start with these guys, and I think I'm going to start. Let's cut some 18 gauge wire, and I'm going to use primarily 18 gauge wire for everything, except for the parts that are the findings for the earrings. Like the post, 20 gauge is standard for most ear wires, so I'll use 20 gauge for those things. I think everything else is going to be 18, so not a long list of materials on this one, so I'm going to cut myself off a piece of this so I don't have to deal with this big spool. Okay, I'm going to make this one become the whole tail there. So let's make a spiral at the end. That gives me an approximate length. I'm going to do something counterintuitive. I'm going to straighten this back out just so I can get a length on it, or at least a close enough length so I can cut a second one. I could have estimated and cut 2 of them, but I'm a little short on materials right now, so. Probably we'll solder these 2 together to prevent there from being something that catches in your hair all the time. They don't have to be perfect, but sort of close. They're on opposite sides of your head, right? That's close enough, probably. All right. So I think I'm going to make this central kind of petal first for both of them. We'll solder that on, and then we'll fill in the other ones around it, kind of. So let's do that. Make each of these kind of a little curve to each one of these. This weekend I'll be in Greeley at an art picnic. It's called the Art Picnic. So if you're in northern Colorado, that'd be a good time to come by and say hi if you wanted to. It's on the 29th and 30th, downtown Greeley. Alright, so I'm going to file these along the inside of their curve so that these ends are going to line up nice when I put them together in a football shape. At least theoretically. You want to file them so they have a just basically getting them to come to mostly a point like that. I don't want to use very big pieces of solder for this tiny kind of stuff. If you've never been to my channel before, I use hard silver sheet solder for almost everything. And I use a spray-on flux called My-T-Flux. I'm going to file one end flat on these guys so I can butt it up against there. Okay, I'm going to solder those there. Oh, by the way, if you notice that I'm using the pick to solder, if you're interested in learning how to do that, I'll put a link right up there. Pick soldering is probably what made the biggest difference in me getting pretty good at this. Filing this inside edge so it's at a slant that way. Same way on this one, because I'm going to put another piece in there that attaches. Well, this one's going to go way in like that, so I'm going to have it kind of come in there, and then we'll have another one sticking up above here. kind of like that. So if I do this and then make a scratch through the purple there, sometimes it's easier to get a more precise measurement. Although I keep spraying them out of position. That's pretty good. So I'm basically just going to keep building these. I don't know if you noticed that, but this one, because of the surface tension of the solder, started to pull this one inwards. So I'm going to liquefy that and push this back out, hopefully. That. Get them to solder together. File on the ends a little flatter so they're not quite so stabby. Nobody wants stabby earrings. Alright. Now we need a couple of four little V's actually. So little tiny ones. This new solderite pad is popping on me. I've never had that happen before. I wonder if it has something to do with the moisture content and the air or something. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. So these are going to be cut way down, but I need to make them into little small V's that are going to fit over here. So See if we can get those guys on. That one looks too different. So I'm going to recreate him, and then we'll come back again. So, okay, to make little jump rings for the top. Oh, I reconstructed that one. We did it. It's not perfect, but I think it'll be cute. So I'm going to make some little tiny jump rings, and to do that, I usually take a piece of 20 gauge wire and wrap it around a piece of 14 gauge wire. So I have some scrap 14 here. I'll likely use these on all of the 3 pairs of earrings that I'm making today. Okay, solder those little fellows closed. Set these off to the side. I'm going to need those later. So I'll toss those in the pickle and we can get started on our second pair. At the end I'll put ear wires on all of them. I'll take a picture of them, but I make my own ear wires. If you want to see a good video about ear wires, I'll put a link up there. Okay, so the next one, we're going to make kind of traditional flower-shaped petals, like a daisy maybe, or well, daisies have kind of rounded ends, I think, but some kind of flower like that. So I'm going to make some of these things. Because of the quantity of stuff that needs to be done, for the 3 projects, I did a little bit off camera. So I made a couple of jump rings out of 18 gauge by wrapping them around a piece of 14 gauge wire. And these guys I pre-made because they take a while to make. So I was thinking just for these, you know what, I may need to file these a little flat on the ends. These ones could be worn in front of the earlobe or behind the earlobe. I know people like to do trendy things sometimes, and behind the ear is one of those sort of things, I think. But it makes for an interesting look. I've seen a lot of people making those kind of earrings that kind of crawl up the front of your ear design. Those are interesting a little bit. Added a little bit of solder to one of those. This is where I get in trouble when I try and adjust things sometimes. Okay. Alright. So now we need to make some more little V's like that, but they don't have to be complete marquee shade. So I could actually make, you know what, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I make 3 full-sized ones and cut them in half, that'll probably work. Right. So I made 3 more of these things, and I'm going to cut them in half. Okay, so basically I have to put one of these in between each of these. Have them meet about the same distance out. So that's not bad. It's going to be one of those days, huh? I'll move these out of the way just for the moment and get this one fixed. Okay, got that one back together. I can get those to go at the same time and less likely for them to pull together. So I'll just get some solder in place there. There we go. Okay, I think we got all of those. So I made a couple of little silver balls, and I just put some 20 gauge wire on the back of them. And if you don't know how, after you solder something on like this, it's going to be pretty squishy. And if you want it to be an earring post, I usually I'll bend it over like that. These are going to be much shorter, so but I'm going to twist this thing over and over again. And what that does is that work hardens the wire without affecting the way it looks, really. It makes it a lot stiffer. These will be cut way shorter at the end, but basically this will go through the ear, and then this will go behind the earlobe, like that. We'll press up against the back of the earlobe, and then we'll put a little ear nut on the back behind there. So it should kind of make it do like something kind of like that. It's hard to do this backwards because I'm looking through the camera lens. Kind of like that, I think. But let me clean those up in the pickle, and we'll get to working on the last ones. So, and get started on our third ones here. So, like I said, I made a couple of bezels in advance. For this one, they got 5 petals, and they're going to have some little stamens sticking out in the inside range of those. And what I'm going to do to make those is I'm going to do this. So, pick this up here. I'm going to heat them until they ball up on the end here. Just a little bit. Let them cool off for a minute. And then with my little chasing hammer, I'm going to file these guys flat. Or pound them flat, I should say. It's like a little spoon, kind of. Okay, so I'm going to make a whole bunch of those. But we need to make the petals too. So let's cut some more 18 gauge. I'm going to bend one. This is a little bit bigger than the stone that I was originally going to use. So I'm going to make these a tiny bit bigger maybe, but not too much. Kind of shaped like that. Okay, so I'm going to file all these flat. On the ends, at least. Alright, I'm going to make a whole bunch more of those. Okay, I got these all shaped pretty well. I just need to space them out evenly around there. I made a whole bunch of these little guys. I think I have, well, there's 10 for each of them, so there should be about 20. So I'll have to cut them off to the length to where they fit in here and then solder them to the bezel as well. So, but first I'm going to put the petals on, I think. The wires are pretty easy to get up to temperature, so you gotta kind of avoid the wires, otherwise you'll melt them. And get the bezel hot. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding these little guys in, but I think they need to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to cut them all off at slight different sizes here. Might need to be shorter than that. See if I can get those soldered in or not. One of them soldered to the side a little bit, that's okay, I guess. Okay, and then I got 2 of those jump rings. I think that one and that one probably, so those right there. And we'll solder those on, and then we'll pickle these. Then next time we come back, I'll have everything polished up and I'll set these stones. We got it. All right. I'm going to give these just a quick look over to make sure I don't have any spots where I didn't get it soldered. Come off of there. I'll look at them a little better after they've pickled for a bit. It's easier to tell then. But so far I don't see any problems. We'll find out. Let those clean up for a while, and I'll be back. Okay, oh, I have pretty bad polishing here tonight. Okay, so here's the first pair. They came out kind of cute. I didn't get them perfectly symmetrical, but I think they're alright. So those ones are nice. These are the next ones. These are the behind the lobe ones, and the way that would work is I've put one of these larger rubber ear nuts on the back that have these, kind of a wide flared front. And what you would do is like stick this little post earring through the hole in your ear, and then put this behind it, and then feed this thing on to hold it in place. So be like the lobe would be up here and it would be sticking out down below just a little bit. So I hope I've had this in frame the whole time. But yeah, that's how those work. And then I went ahead and set one of these. Got the other one ready to go here. So I have a little bit of tag board under it with some white tag board on top. Sometimes I put sterling silver sheet under there. Somebody suggested to put argentium sheet under it because it doesn't tarnish, and that's probably a good idea. But I'm going to go ahead and set this. So start with the flat side of my needle nose here. Sorry if I'm getting a little froggy, I'm getting tired. So now, last stage is I'm going to go at it from the top with the rounded outer part of the needle nose here and rub that top edge. That's called burnishing. And that just kind of smooths it out, lays it down any last gaps you might have. Alright. So I think those are good. I think out of the three, I like these ones the best. But what do you think? I kind of like these ones too. These ones are okay. Alright, so I'll do the same thing I did with these ear winners here on these, and then I'll take nice pictures of them and put them at the end. So. Alright, well that was the 3 wire flower earrings. I hope you enjoyed those. I had fun making them. And if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button before you leave today. That helps out a great deal. And don't forget to hit the video description for the various important links related to my channel. So thanks for coming today. Feel free to leave a comment or suggestion. Take care. Happy silversmithing.